Welcome to Company Showcase, an advertising feature on HowStreet.com.
I'm Jim Goddard. I'm speaking with Larry Reaugh, CEO and President of American Manganese. Welcome back to the show, Larry.
Thanks, Jim.
Larry, your public relations department, which I suspect is you, has been cranking out the news releases this past week. What's in them?
Well, we've had a couple of releases. The first one was on Monday, and that was to do with a private placement so the company can get moving on with the completion of its pilot plant optimization and start moving forward on the actual design and estimations on the commercial plant. So, that's, I have to say that placement's going well. It looks like, it's well over, let's just say that it's at 60 to 70% done. So that's looking really good. And we also had a release later on, Jim, with to do with the manganese project. And I thought it was worth mentioning because a lot of the manganese stocks are getting active. And we were the first ones to ever pioneer the mining here on this side of the world, and in North America anyway. And we had a low-grade deposit that we had to do a lot of R&D on, and to patent the process that eventually became our recycling cornerstone. But that process allowed us to compete with low-grade deposits with the cost of Chinese deposits in the production of electrolytic manganese metal. And what I want to tell everybody is basically we spent between $20 and $25 million getting to that point. We drilled off resources. We basically did all the R&D work with Cametco, and we hired Tetra Tech to do a pre-feasibility study. So, as you can see, we were moving the project ahead from the time we picked it up till 2011 when we started the pre-feas, which was completed about a year later in 2012. And by that time, the price of manganese had gone down, as well as the entire venture exchange had gone into the ash can. And but it wasn't that stopped us. It was the price of manganese that went below, or not below, but it was at a price that would take 11 years to repay that mine, which was estimated to cost about $480 million. So I did some work back in 2013. We did very little work on the other side of the equation, on the electrolytic metals, and that was the manganese dioxide, which is used in your EV cars and actually in lithium-ion batteries. So we did some work on that. Cametco ran the material from the mine through the pilot plant, and we got results of high purity. And they actually made what we call button cells, or just a cell that you can measure to find out whether it's a working battery. And we were successful in doing that. So based on that, I did some work in the office, which is pretty simple. The manganese metal, if you have to mine 100% of the manganese to get the manganese out and get good recoveries and everything else. So your pit sizes and your operation size is based on mining total metal, total ore to make the metal. Whereas in dioxide, it's made up of 60% manganese and 40% oxygen, and so you have a different set of tools to work with. And then, basically your whole footprint goes down by 40%, which would affect the OPEX and operating costs. In making metal, you've got a huge circuit of of electroplating cells. And in the case of electrolytic manganese metal, you only need 15% of those circuits to make the electrolytic manganese dioxide, I should say, to make the metal. So that really, skews the OPEX and the CAPEX in a direction that is a lot more palatable. And probably if we'd have done the tests on dioxide instead of metal. But at that time, metal, when we started all this, metal was at a good price, and it eroded thanks to the Chinese, because they all started overproducing as usual, which is done with lithium. And the basic thing is that we kind of lost sight of that. I think a lot of our investors, except for some of the a lot of the our investor base is still made up of people who have been with us for over 10 years. And so we just wanted to remind people that, hey, we got a project down there that is not only great for making lithium-ion batteries, but just for the product itself. It's used in ductability of steel, about 10 pounds to 20 pounds of manganese goes into every ton of steel, which gives it a ductability. If you didn't have it, you'd make a plate of steel that if you dropped it on the concrete floor would shatter like glass. And there's no substitution for that. They tried to substitute that for years, but there's no known substitution for that. And that metal is, as you can well expect, is, high demand for infrastructure, the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, all of those things in the U.S., and they have no production of manganese. So that opens another window. That doesn't mean that we're going to divert the attention from the pilot plant, which, by the way, is still working along now, and I'll have to touch base with Norm to see if we can get an update on that. We're still optimizing on that, and I just want to mention that the optimization is a really smart way to go. I mean, it shows up weaknesses that you have in the plant, areas that could be get corroded, areas that are restricted, pumps that you have to increase the size, impellers, tanks, you name it. And so the optimization is necessary to get the final design done, and we hope from this this financing that we're doing that we'll be able to get that design done. And then we're talking a whole different realm, and that realm is now we can show a independent feasibility study on it, and money should be a lot easier to get. So we've been busy. And, the spin out is going along well. We've got a guy that's working on the 43101. They've had their property visit. They're starting to turn out, some of the maps that are required and everything else for the 43101. So, and don't forget that property had, a production for 3 or 4 years. A small mine, mind you, of 6% copper and just under 0.1 ounces of gold. And it actually had shipments off there from other areas of the mine that ran up to 6 ounces of gold. So it's a great property. It's a great IPO property for, there's no better place to look for a mine than where there has been an existing mine. So, everything is turning up roses for us. I know that everybody's PO'd because I had to raise money, but I'm not the only company out there. Every company on the board has to raise money at various times to drill or to move their project along or get their feasibility started. And so it's just a necessary situation that you have with the junior company. And for all the dilution that we've taken, we have replaced that with some stellar results, and that'll all crystallize with the investors at some point going forward. So anyway, Jim, it's a good way to end the week, and I think that we're on to bigger and better things. one thing that I've included in there is a June 24th article from Argoni, where they're talking about the manganese that they've been doing a lot of research on for the lithium-ion batteries, and I see that as a push that's coming in another direction to reduce the cost of the electric batteries. So we got both sides covered on that with our recycling and with our deposit in Arizona. So maybe we can get back to the day where people will start talking about us as the one of the manganese companies that is starting to grow out there.
Larry, for people new to American Manganese, what's the company all about?
Well, the company is a critical metal company, and we've, as I mentioned, we've developed a process that to actually produce electrolytic manganese metal or dioxide, and which is comparative to costs in China, and which goes a long ways. So, and we've taken that technology and morphed it into a technology for recycling batteries, and that's a cornerstone of our current patents that we hold in our battery recycling operation. So, you can go to the website and you can find out all you want about what's the progress in. We're very transparent. Every bit of work on research is done by arm's length group called Cometco, and as far as I'm concerned, they're the best research company out there. And you can reach us, or we're traded on the Venture Exchange under the symbol AMY. We're traded in the U.S. under the symbol AMYZF, and we're traded in Frankfurt under the symbol 2AM. You can always reach us at the company here at LREAUGH@AMYMN.com, or give us a call at 778-574-4444.
Larry, thank you so much for the update.
You're welcome.
My guest has been Larry Reaugh, CEO and President of American Manganese. I'm Jim Goddard. Our conversation took place on September 18th.
Comments made on Company Showcase are an expression of opinion only and should not be construed in any manner whatsoever as recommendations to buy or sell any financial instrument at any time. Archived online at HowStreet.com. Company Showcase is a production of How Street Media Incorporated.